Hi, I hope all is well with you and that you're staying safe. In this week's Parsha of Toldos, we read that famous phrase stated by Yitzchak Avinu to Yaakov when Yaakov came disguised as Esav in order to receive the brachos. And Yitzchak said, Hakol kol Yaakov v'hayadayim yidei Esav. The voice is the voice of Yaakov, but the hands are the hands of Esav. Rashi teaches us that the voice that he was referring to was not the texture of the vocal cords, of the sound that came out of his mouth, because they had similar voices, Yaakov and Esav. The kol Yaakov that Yitzchak was referring to was the fact that they spoke very differently. Yaakov, when he approached his father, he said, Father, please stand up and accept the food that I have brought you. Where Esav would have said, stand up and eat the food that I have. Esav spoke very roughly, and Yaakov spoke gently. Normally, the discussion is why Yaakov didn't change his form of speech. But I'd like to take a different approach, and I'd like to really discuss Esav, which is perhaps even a stronger question. Chazal teach us that Esav is used as a role model for what Kibud Av is all about. Even the Amoraim in the Gemara talk about, and they compare themselves to Esav, and they say, in comparison to Esav, our Kibud Avaim is lacking. So if you have an individual, even though he was a Rasha, who showed such respect and such honor to his father, why didn't he change his mode of speech? And why didn't he be more polite and ask his father to please stand up, sit up, accept the food that I have brought? And the answer that Chazal give is the fact that there is a concept called hergel, which loosely translated would be habit, or the things that we're used to from the word ragil. And that when an individual is used to speaking in a particular way, it's very, very difficult for them to change, especially if they don't think about it that much. Esav, as we know, was the ultimate in Kibbud Aveim, but he was also the ultimate Rasha. He lived a very, very cruel and wicked life, committing all the cardinal sins. When he approached his father, he brought what his father wanted. He dressed nicely, but he didn't change from being Esav, and Esav spoke in a particular way. And I think the lesson for us is the fact that we also suffer from hergel, or perhaps I shouldn't use the term suffer. We also are affected by hergel. It doesn't have to be negative. It can be positive. If we are used to saying things, if we're used to doing things that are positive, then by habit, in Mitzvah Hashem, we should continue to do those things as well. But there is the downside, and that is if we're used to doing things that are not that positive, unless we make a conscious effort to change, then we will just simply remain those individuals who we are. The Chafetz Chaim, in the first siman of Mishnah Berurah, discusses Shmiras HaLashon, and he says the reason why children, or rather, the reason why adults speak Lashon Hara is when they were children, they were never corrected. And it became hergel. It became something that they're used to. And once you're used to something, it's difficult to change. However, it is possible. And what we have to do is we have to examine ourselves and see all the areas of our lives that are affected by hergel. And like I said, it's not necessarily negative. Baruch Hashem, there are many qualities that we have that are very positive, and we should continue to have those positive qualities. But if there are areas in our lives that need improvement because for whatever reason, the way we were raised, our friends when we were growing up, whatever it might be, if there are areas in which We can change. We don't have to live with habit. We don't have to live with hergo. We just have to make a conscious effort to be better today than we were yesterday. The choice is ours. Do we want to have the call of Yaakov or the call of Esav? Have a wonderful day, a meaningful Shabbos, and a wonderful Chodesh of Kislev. Kol Tov.